Good morning. This is Kelley Hobart from Alpaca Direct, and I'm here today talking about gift ideas for Christmas time because Christmas comes up so fast and we're trying to knit all these lovely gifts for our friends and loved ones, and it takes a lot of time. So planning for that ahead of time is always a great idea. So I thought maybe we could talk about gifts maybe that are pre-made gifts and then gifts that you can make. So also I wanted to remind everyone that every week we have giveaways. Do you know which color was the giveaway for this week, Jim?
Which was the winner?
No, which color was, yes,
Yeah.
which color was the winning
the
color?
Greens, and it was the blue.
This one? The brighter one?
The blue.
Or this one? Which
Blue.
one?
The blues.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Blue or
So-
purple.
There we are. Here's the winning color selection for this week. And if you guys are unfamiliar with Kabasi, it is a cotton silk blend, and it has a little bit of nylon in there, and it has 16% bamboo in it too. So it's totally lovely. I like this yarn for maybe doing baby sweaters or adult sweaters if you don't want them to be too hot. It has a nice twist on the yarn. It's good quality. It's by Haiku, which is by Skacel. If you're familiar with the Addy Turbo, same company. And so it's a great yarn. I really like these colorways too. Makes for a really cute little item. And then, so let's see what we're doing for this week. I was thinking that we could have a prize of alpaca socks, because one of our favorite gifts for gift giving to our family members is alpaca socks, because it's a hollow core fiber, one of the warmest fibers in the world, and they make really lovely, warm and cozy socks. So these are called the extreme boot socks, or you could get these nice alpaca quarter socks. And what are these ones? What's the technical name? Selkirk socks, thanks. I know what socks they are. I just don't know the fancy name for them. Anyway, they're a quarter sock, and they have a nice footbed that's nice and squishy. And the reason why I like them for even knitters for gifts is because knitters can appreciate the fine fibers and the content of alpaca and how warm it keeps you. So that is for us for this week. And don't forget, as we're going along, that you can tell us where you're from. Maybe you can let us know what you're working on. If you have a lovely pattern, don't forget to tell us the name of the pattern and maybe the name of the designer too. And as we're going along, post comments, let us know what you're working on. It's always lovely if you have that great pattern we can share and learn from each other. Yes, and Jim just mentioned just now that we wanted to remember to keep Ruthie in our prayers, right? And she came through surgery. So congratulations, a 12-hour surgery. Oh my goodness. But she looks pretty good. Yes. And she was able to write on Facebook and let us know how she was doing. So for all of you that donated, thank you again for donating for Ruthie, because that was an extensive surgery that she had to have to get most of that tumor removed, right? And so anyway, she's in our prayers and we love her very much. And so we're glad that she's doing well and that she got on the other side of that surgery. So that's fantastic. So first thing I wanted to talk about today was maybe just gift ideas for our knitting buddies, that maybe if a husband is buying for his wife and he's not sure what to get, some things that I thought were cool. And then we'll talk about items that we can knit. And we're talking about items that we can knit a lot of them, right? So doing hats, mittens, gloves, headbands are a good one, ankle socks, and I'll show you examples of what I've done for mine. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is the Chowgo needle sets. And the reason why I brought Chowgo up here, it's one of my favorite knitting needles because they have that nice lace tip on them and they have the complete set. So you get the whole kit and it comes with a nice case that is so you keep everything together. And so it is wonderful. And they have the sets that are in small size, large size, small. These are 4-inch tips and they have 5-inch tips. They have all different kinds. And so, do I have it wrong, Jim?
Well, you can flip it
Can
out
you
so
see?
they can see all the sizes maybe.
Ah, yes. And you can see what the back of it is like.
Yeah.
These are great needles. I really like them because they don't tarnish. The cords don't have memory, which means they don't wind up into circles and get in your way when you're trying to knit with them. And they last for a long, long time. I've been using mine for years, and they are still like brand new condition.
We have those adapters too. You mentioned that. You know how you can go from small to large and medium?
Yes, they have little adapters. So on the Chalga needle set, the one thing that is unlike some other sets that are out there is that you have to have different size cords. The cords come in small and large. Mm-hmm. There's no medium. And then you have little adapters that fit. So you can make the small a large or the large a small, depending on what you need. So those are on our website too. Also, of course, these needle gauges, for any of you out there that have knitting buddies, I thought it was awesome to giving these little stocking stuffer type things that doesn't take up a lot of room and is easy to wrap. And yes, knowing your needle gauges. If you're anything like me, you have a lot of needles and you can't always see what size it is. So being able to check what size it is really quickly with one of those needle gauges is awesome. And then of course our handy dandy tape measures. And these tape measures are nice because you can put it on as a key ring on your knitting bag, or you can just and then it has a little button on the back that you can push.
Really good
and
quality.
Yes, they're very nice quality, made in Germany. And then another thing that more advanced knitters or adventurous beginning knitters, if they're used to blocking, these blocking sets are wonderful. I have several of them, and I use them for blocking my knitwear. And they're kind of like combs, but they have kind of a sharp tip, and you can just put it right into your foam mat, and it is wonderful for blocking. And then, of course, we have different sizes of, I love these. They come in small and large. They're little rainbow stitch markers, yes. And they are magnetic. So I'm always working right next to my computer, and if I want to just throw it out of the way, I just throw it toward my keypad, and there's a magnet inside of it, so it goes whoop, and sucks right onto my computer. So for any of you, yeah, and then you don't lose it. Because if you're anything like me, I have Max, my kitty cat, and he's a ragdoll kitty, and I'm sure you've seen him on some of the pictures of the projects that I was knitting. And when he was a kitten, he used to like to help me. He'd lay on the projects and help out, you know. And so, but he likes to bat the stitch markers off, and then he bats them around the house, and he will carry them, and he's always up to something. And of course, I love these locking stitch markers, and these come in this nice reusable little pouch, and they're great for either hooking onto your knitted fabric or crocheted fabric, and they make great place markers. I use these a lot of times too. And then there's a ton of people out there that like these light bulb stitch markers. If you need something that's a little smaller that is also locking, those are fantastic too. So let's see here. I was thinking that I was going to make some of these. You see that?
It's called in the picture.
Yeah. This is Ruthie. This is Ruthie in here. Everyone, if you don't know Ruthie, that's Ruthie. She's worked for us, and she's the one that just made it through surgery. And she's this pocket slouch. The reason why I like this for Christmas gifts is because when I go places, I oftentimes don't wear a hat, because whenever I get to wherever I'm going, I want to take the hat off because it's made from alpaca. I always make my hats out of alpaca. And then I have nowhere to put it.
It's too hot.
And so, yes, and it's too hot to wear inside where it's warm. So I designed this little hat that uses minimal yarn. It's super easy to make, and it's super warm, and you can shove it in your pocket. And so these make great gifts, and you can use them for men or women. They would go either way.
I have one.
Yes. And they make fantastic little hats. And I'll show you mine that I just started this morning. Here's my little hat.
What kind of yarn are you using?
Well, this is Cascade, and it's 100% baby alpaca, and it's one of their eco-natural ones.
Eco-duo? Looks like
No, it's not Eco Duo. This is applied yarn. Eco Duo is a single ply.
Oh.
It's not applied yarn. This is their pure alpaca or eco alpaca. But I'm doing a hat about that. Now I'll give you little ideas about things I was thinking about when I was making the hat, because this pattern calls for Simply Kriya. And I am using the pure alpaca, which is a light worsted weight yarn. So I just added several repeats onto mine. And maybe I should take a moment just to show you real quick what I was thinking when I was making mine. So first of all, when I was making this nice little hat, I am using 2 different needle sizes, and the brim, of course, is knit on a tighter, smaller needle so that I could get that brim so it fits snug on your head. And you could see right here, it's already started. Now, if you look at the beginning of my round right here, you'll see that it looks really nice, and it is nice and closed. And all I did to accomplish this, because when you join in the round, it's like, it's not really knit all in one piece. It's the next round is begun and it leaves like a jog right there. So what you do to an easy way to fix that when you're knitting is you would cast on 1 extra stitch, and say that the extra stitch that I cast on is this stitch right here. We're just pretending now. So what I would do is slip it right over to my needle, and I would put it right over the top of that next stitch. And by putting it over the top of that next stitch like that, do you see how I can take the working yarn and tighten it up? So then when I join in the round, it makes it like this. It makes it tight. So all you have to remember when you join in the round is to cast on 1 extra stitch, and remember that the last stitch that's cast on is the stitch from the working yarn. You slip that one over the very first stitch that you cast on so you can make the noose tight. If you did it the other way around, say that you, let's see if I can get this off here. If you did it the other way around, where I slipped this first stitch over that stitch, then you see how I could not tighten this stitch up, because it's as tight as it's ever going to be, because that yarn's in there and there's no working yarn to pull tight. So that's how you can tell when you join in the round which stitch to flip over the other stitch. It's always a stitch goes over the top, the one that's attached to the working yarn. So that makes it really cool. And also when I'm making this hat and I have my 16-inch needles, I know that I want my hat to, since a head is the circumference around your head is anywhere from 20 inches to 22 inches, unless there's some people that may have a different head size, but that's the normal head size is around 20 inches. And you want to leave a couple inches for stretch, especially with alpaca, because alpaca loosens up over time. So when I'm using my 16-inch needle, I know that I want, if I'm stretching and I can't get the stitches are really, really tight on the needle, most likely that hat is not going to fit on my head. Unless it's for a baby, in which case you might be able to get it to fit on the baby's head, no problem. But for an adult head, you need your hat to be loose enough so that it can fit around this 16-inch needle with a little room left over. So I imagine that this is going to be just about right. And what I'm going to do before I get too much further is I'm going to transfer some of these stitches onto another needle. And I'm going to lay it out flat and just check those measurements. And the way that you can tell how you like your hat, say this is my hat right here. What I will do is I will take this bottom measurement right here, measure it with my, Jim, do you mind if I get up for 1 second? Mm-hmm. Sorry, sweetie. I just need the tape measure. So I can measure this with my tape measure and see that it's 8 inches. And I know that this hat fits my head, and it's going to stretch. I mean, alpaca does stretch over time. So if you're you want them, if you're going to make your alpaca hats, you don't want to make them super loose to start with. You want to make them a little more on the snug side, just so that you have a hat when it does relax, it doesn't fall over your eyes. It still has a little bit of stretch, right, Jim?
Yep.
Yeah, and so that works great. Also, this little hat that I have right here is just a very simple ribbed hat, and there's like 5 million free ribbed hats that you can get on
We have them on our site.
Ravelry,
Right?
and I think I have some on our site too. But and this is made out of baby alpaca. I really like it. It's totally cool. These make great gifts, and I don't know. The thing about this one, it's 1x1 ribbing, and it depends on the person. Some people don't like doing 1x1 ribbing because you have to switch from the working yarn being in the back to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back, to the front, and that slows some people down. And so a 1x1 ribbing, making a bunch of them for all the family members might be hard, but maybe you can make it for the guys in your family, and then for the women, do something like the pocket slouch or something like that, or do this one right here was the capital hat that I did, and this was out of a sport weight yarn.
Well, that's timely since they're out of those capital hearings.
Yes, we're having the capital hearings, and this I made out of Tenzing, which was it's a yak and merino blend. They no longer make that yarn, but it was by Juniper Moon. Totally beautiful yarn.
They're not huge projects in your lap when it's hot, right?
Yes, it's a great summertime project. All these projects are wonderful for gift giving for Christmas time, and they're great projects to do because you don't have a ton of bulk in your lap when it's 90 or 100 degrees, or some places it's over 100 degrees right now. And so this one was by Von Hinterstein or something like that, and it's on Ravelry, and it was called the Capital Hat. And then this is the copycat hat, and it is a baby size, and that is a great pattern that is free on Ravelry too. And the reason why the person called it the copycat hat is because this design can be found in ski shops all over the place. It's one of the most flattering designs that you can make for anyone, that's universally looks good on anyone. It's a really easy pattern, and it's fun to do. And I actually have a pattern out there that is the copycat mittens that match the copycat hat. So if you wanted a whole set, you could do that too. Totally fantastic. And if it was me and I was doing the copycat hat, I would cast on for the mittens and the hat on the same needles. And then I would have that whole project done all at one time. I'm a fan of casting on for a bunch of things all at once. If they will fit on my needles, I will shove them on there, huh, Jim? Yep. And this was just a pair of ankle socks. And I think this was just a pattern that I kind of made up on my own. And you can find the heel on Ravelry. It's a different kind of a no slip heel. I think that's a free pattern on the.
Sure, you can do that in a couple months.
Yeah, and then I just like these a simple ribbed pattern for most of the sock because it gives you some stretch. And then this was the gusset heel and a heel flap, and I like those too. Those are nice. Let's see what we have. I could only find one of these leg warmers that I did, and I know this is a free pattern on our website too. Yep. For boot cuffs. And boot cuffs are a great option in alpaca. The reason why I love boot cuffs so much, and I never knew how much I liked boot cuffs until I actually wore them. And what's beautiful about boot cuffs, if you get out in the cold and you are freezing cold, wearing boot cuffs right on the inside of your boot, it totally keeps the air from going into your boot, and it'll warm up your whole body just by not allowing air into the inside of your boot. And these are fantastic. Plus, they look cute, and they're kind of trendy. This one was a pattern where I did a little picot bind off, and you can see this is a very simple ribbed pattern, and then picot bind off and ribbing at the top. And I think this hat right here was a hat that I did, and this is out of Vintage Chunky. And Vintage Chunky is totally awesome.
You know what this one was called?
I made this one up. Unfortunately, I make a lot of things up. I was messing around with the inside here. Do you see how I picked up stitches? I was trying to see how clean I could get my pickup to do my my ear flap on there. And have a nice rolled brim for a baby's hat so you can stick it down and then you can tie it underneath their chin. And I used the I-cord. So it's really cute. That, you know, the sky's the limit. I don't ever let patterns dictate what I make. I take a pattern, find something that I love about it, and if I'm in a different kind of mood, I just go ahead and go with it. Don't I, Jim?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And I don't know if I've probably told you guys a million times, but if I have to reknit something, I think of it as I got to enjoy the yarn twice. So I am famous for tearing my work out if it doesn't look the way I want it to, or if I want to change it a little bit, or goodness knows, then I'll just take it out. And that brings up another important point. When you're knitting your Christmas projects, I bet you can dig through your stash and find some nice yarn for these patterns that I have shown you. Let me show you the rest of them. So I looked at some of my more popular patterns on Ravelry. On our website, right? Alpaca Direct. And this was his and her toe-up mucklucks. And I've made a ton of these. And what I love about these is you can make them short, long, whatever you want to make them. And they keep your feet so warm. I mean, even for me who freezes, if you make them out of ultra alpaca chunky, they are going to be some of the warmest things you can put on your feet. And they last for a while because of the color work, and you're going back and forth from one color to the other and the yarns are intertwined like that. They're very hardy slippers. And so if you make those for gifts, I'm sure a lot of people out there love them. I do. I appreciate it because I'm always cold. I thought this was a really cute pattern. Do you see how the hat at the top has some ribbing and it has a whole different shape to it? And these are double thick. I think she does the liner. This was the pattern that I was wanting to do, and it's by Lone Kelton? I don't.
Norwegian or something.
Yeah, it's but it comes with, it has the mittens and the hat that match, and this would be kind of fun. I mean, this would be a kind of fun pattern if you wanted to use up. And then I saw this cute little sweater by Marie Hoff. It's little sailboats. Isn't that cute? And this was a free pattern on Ravelry.
You need a little grandson.
Yeah, I thought that I had better tell my kids to get to work. I would like a grandson. Of course, I love my grandkids. They are my pride and joy. They are so much fun. I'm chasing them around and acting. It allows you to act like a kid and actually get away with it. Which I think is totally fun. Yeah, although I think my son, he's going, why are you teaching her that? It's like, well, I don't know. I just thought it was fun. Like there are times when they're going, don't teach them to throw balls at you. Yeah, it's like, well, they're only doing it with me. And so I'm just looking to see if I had any more things on here. Also, another couple things that I thought were neat is fingerless mitts. And don't forget headbands. Headbands make a great option for Christmas gifts when you're trying to use up yarn. That makes and people really like that. Some people can't wear hats because they think that hats don't look good on them, or maybe it squishes their hair too much and they're worried about their hair. I don't know. I kind of like the warm hats, and I like warmth over fussy hair. I'm like, who cares? Dump it over my head. It's all cool. So let's look and see who the winner is this week. It is Neela Jordan O'Neill. Neela, you won. Let's see what we have for you. You have some kabasi, and you can either make a pair of socks with this yarn, or you could make, I don't know, you could make a sock monkey. You can make a little baby doll, maybe a dolly jacket, or, I guess sky's the limit. You can let us know what you make. That's awesome. So all you have to do, Neela, to get in touch with us at www.alpacadirect.com and go to customer service. And there you would let us know what your shipping address is so that we can get it out in the mail to you.
Or email us.
Or email us. Either way, whatever works. It's just you get to try this lovely kabasi. and with the bamboo and silk in it, and not too hot. It's a nice yarn without being too much. What were you showing, Jim?
So they can vote on
Oh,
on the
right.
socks.
What's that?
Oh, so they can vote on the socks.
Oh, right. One more time. Oh, thanks, honey. Okay, so my honey was telling me, don't forget, you guys need to vote whether we should have the extreme boot or Selkirk quarter socks. Selkirk quarter. So if you guys can let us know which one you think would be the best to send out in the mail. A little hint, when it's snowing, these are good. In the summertime, these are good. You can wear these. I wore alpaca socks for every single one of my bike rides because it cuts down on blisters. I never, ever, ever, ever have had a blister. And I'm telling you, with the carbon fiber, aren't those shoes that we use made out of carbon fiber? And they're very stiff. They're like metal shoes almost. And so you could easily get blisters, but I don't. I have never gotten blisters, and I can tell you I've done 100 miles a day for 5 days in a row, and all different kinds of long bike rides. And with my alpaca socks, I'm good to go. I totally love them. So I hope that all of you have a great week this week, and we are going to be talking about ideas and ways that we can discover whether or not our loved ones are knit worthy, or what kind of gifts should be for different kinds of people, so that you don't suffer indignation or just sheer disappointment over spending 5 million hours on something just to find out that maybe you should have used that acrylic yarn. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you next Tuesday.